Colombians have endured more than half a century of polarizing armed conflicts. Left-wing guerrillas, right-wing paramilitary groups, and narco-trafficking gangs have waged war with the government for decades. Through it all, the International Committee of the Red Cross has maintained its neutrality.
Our way of acting is based on the following principles: humanity, impartiality, independence, and neutrality. Neutrality means we don't take part in the hostilities and don't take part in the controversies.
The ICRC has had a strong presence in Colombia for decades. José Antonio Delgado, the head of the committee's operations in Colombia, says they work under three pillars. First, protect and assist victims of the armed conflict. Second, to promote the respect for international humanitarian rights. And third, play the role of neutral intermediary. Delgado Ortiz says that this neutrality has been crucial in facilitating the liberation of nearly 2,000 people in Colombia who've been deprived of their freedom. The first liberation was back in 1980. Even for a neutral third party, it has been a dangerous process.
Sometimes the process of liberation seems like a very visible and secure thing, but in reality there are many risks that we face. For all the people involved, even the armed person may be at risk.
Colombia's armed groups have historically detained citizens and held them for ransom to finance their operations. The practice has been going on for decades now. One of the armed groups negotiating a peace deal with the government is the National Liberation Army, or ELN. The ELN promised a moratorium on the kidnappings as a show of good faith during the talks. But in early May, the ELN suspended this offer. The Colombian government has made repeated calls for the ELN to stop taking hostages and continue negotiating peace. In 2023, Colombia had the highest level of hostage-taking in the last 14 years. According to the Foundation of Peace and Reconciliation, more than 340 people were deprived of their freedom in 2023.
Hostage-taking does not lead to peace, but is a criminal act. And everyone involved here has to remember what the path to peace is.
The ICRC is calling on armed groups to maintain the health and security of victims, while applauding the small steps that have been made toward the goal.
I began working in Colombia in 2001, and at that time many people deprived of their freedom ended up dying. These days there's an advance in maintaining the physical integrity, and that's a step that must be recognized.
Michelle Begue, CGTN, Bogotá.